day and welcome to Obidati Family TV, the program where we enter and I hope are alive. Yes, hope day and plenty information day. If you just join us today, and today maybe now your first time, make you know say now for Obidati Family now we they bring hope come. Because the court where we day, serious hope day, the PO where we get as P2B say make we get hope. Say in gets this thing for judiciary. Judiciary don't do am for them before. Now our incoming presido, as in the greet us, in the talk say make everybody get patience. Make everybody just they pray. Make we also pray for the justices where we say then they for court. Make them for take the right decision. And plenty of things would they bring for this hour. Would they bring the question where many people they ask whether judiciary truly they independent, because plenty things where they happen for our country today, that question don't arise several times. Even the election petition tribunal questions don't begin to enter. Abi then they independent, abi the no they independent. Are they answerable to the executive branch? Abi na judiciary then be and then they for their own. But plenty things when they happen for this country today, especially what happened yesterday for court, like say court no get mouth again. For the election petition tribunal, we see plenty things when we say INEC do. INEC chairman no even agree come court. Even under subpoena, court fold their hand they look. That's why the question they go whether judiciary truly they independent. And this very APC government and Tinubu themselves, as he enter, the intimidation when we don't they hear since, don't they come they show in face, ugly face, come they show. The chaos when they talk about, they show. All this one, they come for this hour where we say we go bring for now how things they begin to have. And sometimes, then go even talk say, na online media, na social media, they talk this one, they talk that one. And they always talk, even the mainstream media, they talk them. And so plenty things when we go talk today. The 25% of Abuja we go talk am. INEC declared Tinubu winner of Abuja. Guess what? We get twist for that very one, because even the constitution they clear say the person will be say he go rule Nigeria, will be say he go preside for FCT, Federal Capital Territory. The person must win Abuja. So if you no win Abuja, how you go become the governor of Abuja? Because constitution talk say now that very president na him be the governor of Abuja, and that's why he say and FCT. So to discuss all this one, I get Angel for here and I get Esther for studio.
Hello, obedience. Welcome to the show. Hope alive. We don't carry mass today hot. Come for this afternoon. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Welcome, my well-meaning Nigerians. Good day, obedient worldwide. Welcome. Tell your neighbor, say, hope they alive. Call your neighbor, make una come. Gist is plenty. Make we discuss this intimidation where they come for our justices, for our judiciary. E no go day.
Yes. The intimidation, the chaos, anarchy, where they talk, where they carry enter for election tribunal for their final written address. They see all the signs everywhere. Yesterday we showcased the one of Asarido Kubo, where in done the parade army, where in the train, and then talk say koro for the video. Say na Tinubu na in the work for. Na so then take talk. And again, yesterday, every media carry this news of a Emefiele. Now, I know say some people go there talk say wetin DSS do they wrong. Yes, it they wrong. It they condemnable, truly. But I want make una see am from another angle. This government they bring distraction. They sure say no be then they bring this movie make we they watch, make we they distracted for waiting there for court. But anyway, make we hear as them take talk and for mainstream media, then we'll come back. Make them no talk say now from Obidati family, now in that one begin they emanate. Make we hear as Arise News take talk am.
What are the issues now? The issues are as follows. One, you find a situation whereby a judge of the High Court gave a ruling and said this man should be remanded in the Ikoyi prison. And then you find an agency of government overruling the court. That is shameful, it is disgraceful, it is abominable, it is unacceptable. And we even found in the situation lawyers taking video. Okay, maybe they were helpless in the matter. It was a sad day for the Nigerian judiciary yesterday. At the end of the day, the DSS imposed its will on the court. And what did they say? They said, order from above. Who gave that order? That's the second point. Who is the person who has the effrontery to desecrate the integrity of the premises of the Nigerian judiciary, which we have always said is the last hope of the common man? That person must be identified. Even if he's the president, he has committed an abominable offense. Who gave that order? You can't just overrule the court. Now the DSS. The DSS should be told in clear terms that the state services is not above the laws of the land. They can't overrule the courts. I know they did it under Buhari. I think President Tinubu has an obligation to make sure that that tradition is not continued. You can't overrule a court of law. Now, what the DSS officials said, as quoted by Joseph Biodun Daudu, JB Daudu, lead counsel, is that, oh, there was an order and they already have a magistrate court order to rearrest Godwin Emefiele. A magistrate court order cannot overrule the order of a high court. One of the things they teach elementary law students is about the hierarchy of courts.
Don't hear as they take report am. But wetin we would bring from Obidati Family TV be say, distraction, this government, then sabi na their magic wand, na distraction. You see, Emefiele issue don't dey there since. And no be today, even Emefiele himself, so when Supreme Court talk say, make them do this, Naira, the design, make them stop and make them issue, and what he do for that one? But now in Oga, now in the following own, you know, follow court own. I know talk say, the way where then they treat them, they okay. But waiting with the talk here be say, make our mind, make our focus, day for waiting, day for court. Now for there, because when we get our mandate back, these very issues, you know, go there like that because the P2B where we know, no go allow lawlessness for Nigeria. It go give judiciary their independence. Because the major issue when I see here, now Tinubu and APC, where they know they agree with waiting court talk. Anything where court talk, you go see how they go begin the countermode, they no go agree at all. So, with that one, make we kukuma go straight to those things where we say we get for court. First, the one thing when I want mention, now one giving fact where come from constitution. When then they discuss that very and where they for Abuja percentage of votes, that very and me and you know saying an addition, we don't already know that one. But now, that very section 299 of the constitution, it talks say the president will be deemed the governor of the Federal Capital Territory. Now, waiting that one mean simple say you must be now the president now go be the governor of Abuja. Person wey be say he no win for the state where he suppose govern. I want know whether they suppose declare them at all. They no suppose declare them at all because that constitution they clear, you know they ambiguous, you know get other meaning. So Tinubu no win Abuja, cure ED. And as you no win Abuja, he no suppose govern Abuja where then they talk say na state. Now their own final written address talk say na state. everywhere where then they talk as APC, then they talk say, make them classify Abuja as state. So if Abuja truly say na state, if you know win that state, how you go become the governor of that state? Make we reason all these things. Because when we they talk say na lawyers, now then they bring confusion for us. Now them truly they bring confusion. Then make we look at that very for future issue. For inside court, the witness of Tinubu enter court, talk say that money $460,000 US. He talk say na drug money for the presence of the judges where they there. That's what the man talk. They asked him, he said yes. Say na the process of this thing, but say na civil litigation. Now, Constitution talk say fine, even if na fine, say you no go suppose contest as president for Nigeria. Now, so Constitution talk am, and we don't show those places where e comot for Constitution, and we go show am again. But before we do that, make we hear as David Hunde, the person wey be say he don explore those possibilities, how he take explain am that first time when go collect all the information from that very district court wey give that judgment. Because that very anyway, make we hear from David Hunde, make you no be say this, make we hear as him take talk am, make we know say now the issues where we get for court now we dey discuss, make they no carry us enter another Emefiele stuff.
There are basically two stories in one here. The first is a story about a drug trafficking indictment that the candidates of the All Progressives Congress had in 1993. And as I've appeared on this show before to speak about this case, anyone who hasn't read the case files can easily Google them and find them. They are everywhere now. These case files have been sourced from the U.S. District Courts of Eastern District of Illinois, the Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division. And essentially, you have this fellow, Bola Tinubu, who was identified by IRS Investigative Special Agent Moss as a bagman, that's a money launderer working on behalf of a drug ring that was trafficking heroin in Chicago. And basically, this indictment, which has been on public record since 1993, for whatever reason, this story hasn't properly been told the way it was meant to be told. It's sort of become like a rumored kind of thing. So in the lead up to this election, I decided that I wanted to take this on. That you can't have a story potentially about somebody who has a chance of becoming Nigeria's next president being linked to drug trafficking, and it's just relegated to the realm of like social media rumors and stuff you see on blog pages on Instagram and things like that. So I dug into it, and the information is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. But this fellow was involved in drug trafficking, and this is not an allegation. This is not a claim. This is a documented fact. Right? There are legal documents backing this up. Right? This guy forfeited $460,000 of funds that were, I quote, proceeds of narcotics trafficking. This is on record. So, I don't know, but possibly because it's been 29 years since this thing happened, and as we tend to do in Nigeria, we tend to think that justice has an expiry date. So because this thing happened 29 years ago and he has been able to get away with it, he became a governor, he governed for 2 terms, has been a political operator, he was elected as a senator in 1992 as well. So basically, he got away with it all the time. So the posturing from the camp seems to be that, well, this is already dead and buried, so why are you resurrecting this now? So why are you asking this question? And I think that's a ridiculous position to take, because as I've said earlier, Bola Tinubu is not applying to be president of Lagos or president of APC or president of Dele Alake and Bayo Onanuga. Bola Tinubu is applying to my president too, and your president, everybody's president who carries a Nigerian passport. So of course he has to answer this question that were you or were you not linked with drug trafficking? And if you claim that you weren't, well, here's the evidence, unimpeachable evidence that you were. So what do you have to say for that? Obviously, he doesn't want to answer that question. He doesn't want to present himself for that type of question, because obviously he doesn't have anything with which to defend himself. He's as guilty as sin.
Eyes go always there on the judiciary. Our eyes go always there on the real issues where they before the court. Make them no carry us the enter for another side. DSS this one, DSS that one. Yes, those ones no matter, but all our eyes go there for judiciary. Now for that very one, I want make all of us there. With this very one, we go still come back to other things where we say e dey for court. This one now for that very for future where this man talk say it's a fact, it's undisputed. Now so intake talk. We will come to waiting our people they talk, but before that time, as he say Njema they do mwe
Yes, so my fabulous obedient worldwide. You know say this thing where David they talk, na documented facts. No be say na fin they act. And if to say na you know say US they civilized. No, they know they like African country where be say no joro than they do. They get real facts. It's documented. If you need and they go give you. Once you pay the collector, no be say na hidden something. And you know say before you become our president, your hands must stay clean. So that our passport, wherever you go, you talk, they go respect you. No be say you carry baggages for your back, you won't become president. How you want your citizens to be, how you want other people to treat your citizens. Now you make we they shout, now you make obedient they shout say, we no vote Tinubu, we no vote APC. Na PO, na Labour Party now we vote. We need our mandate. Judiciary, you are on trial. Yes, you are on trial. Your dignity, you need to reclaim it now. Where be say that they use DSS, they pursue na up and down. Now na need to sit down, gather on ourselves together, do meeting, say enough is enough.
Yes, so enough is enough. Make we see wetin our people they talk for Twitter and online platforms where we say they get, because they know they give them chance to they talk for mainstream. So now for where then they talk, and at that very place, the major talking points there. This one they come out from Pierre.
We have this one from Miss Pearl. She said Nigeria is a constitutional republic. Tinubu said he has never had any citizenship entanglement with another nation. He lied, forged certificate, forged election result, even laundered money. The judiciary must not enable him by engaging in any recording laundering. Sack that forger-in-chief now.
Yes, so the judiciary must not enable him by engaging in record laundering. That is, to they launder something. Now then talk say, may then sack the forger-in-chief. So now Sopiels take talk, and we get another one from Jibril Okuteba. That is that very lawyer will be say, now our Labour Party lawyer, and the man is outspoken in the talking own in this. Make I even bring up myself. He said Nigeria is sliding into dictatorship. Rule of law, no more in practice. While we operate rule of law in theory, we operate in practice despotism and totalitarian regime under the color of democracy. The show of shame today between DSS and correctional officers support my position. I have always said that those in power operate political vendetta and no rule of law. Why is DSS now all over the place? Is DSS above the law of the land? In a country where rule of law holds sway, the judiciary is respected and nobody is allowed to subvert judicial orders. Now, so Jibril Okuteba take talk. But in Nigeria, the judiciary is held in contempt by those who ought to be in prison. The judiciary itself has refused to assert its supremacy. When it is treated with disrespect, it does nothing. When I read law, I was told you should report contempt of court to the court. Make a report as in the read. Now he said, try and report to the court. That is the order. That its orders are being flouted. The judiciary will fold its arm in piteous state of helplessness. No sanctions, no consequences. King is law in Nigeria. The executive is lawless. Lawyers add executive lawlessness. I am wondering where we are going. In all of these practical destructions of democracy by political class, they still pretend to be democrats. Let me ask, is Nigerian democracy indeed a democracy? I doubt. We are sliding into state of nature. The mighty is right in Nigeria. What kind of system do we operate? I still believe that only the legal profession can restore law and order in Nigeria. Time for the profession to think more of tomorrow is now. The legal profession has condoned too much evil in the past. That is why it is not being respected by those who should dread the judiciary. Waiting in talk. The people will be say they suppose fear judiciary will be the executive. They know they fear them again. Can you imagine? DSS will be say na a creation of the constitution. No fear the people where they suppose fear. Now who again then go fear? If the president of the country no fear the law, who again that very president go fear? If National Assembly people no fear court, now which people then go fear again? Yet, court go give order. Tribunals go give order. INEC go disappoint. INEC go disobey. They no go come. Give election materials to petitioners. They no give and reach today. Nothing happen. Give them access to Beaver's machine. They no give. Nothing happened. My people, obedience worldwide. We dey talk about judiciary. We still have hope because our PO will always na the person where we dey follow for back and na the person where we say we trust. He say make we get hope, and that very hope now for judiciary dey. Now make we continue. E get wetin I wan bring for now where we say e dey for our own final written, our response to that their final written address. E dey for page 39. And this very one, now still they talk about the answer to this very FCT issue. For this that section when I talked before. But this one we won't talk section 1342. That is 134 subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. They say, is there right in that section? The argument that the states and the FCT are taken as one collective of 37 states, whereby FCT is treated as a state. But that section 134 of the Constitution differentiates between, on one hand, states and then FCT. And on the other hand, states only. Now, please see section 134 3B. Now, so then they talk to the people who say then they review this thing now of the Constitution, where the drafters say states only, not only but twice. Then in section 134 subsection 4B of the Constitution, the drafters of our Constitution again say states and FCT. An important canon of interpretation persists that phrase is drafter. That is in FCT, vex in section 1342B of the Constitution. Then using only states in section 1343B of the Constitution. And reverting back to the states and FCT in section 134B of the Constitution. It only confirms that the FCT is not a state. The drafters was intentional where he said and FCT. Now, in the same place, 5.33, he said, furthermore, the argument that section 299 of the Constitution, as amended, provides that the FCT should be treated as a state is patently misplaced. Section 299 of the Constitution is contained in Part 1, Chapter this thing of the Constitution, which only deals with the allocation, legislative and executive powers for the internal administration of the FCT, which I mentioned before. Basically, demarcating FCT administration from the federal administration. The section 134 of the Constitution is in chapter 5 of the Constitution by section 3.5 of the Constitution. Every provision is part 1, chapter 7 of the Constitution, such as section 299 of the Constitution. It concerns only matters covered in that part. It is therefore submitted that the provisions of section 134 cannot be interpreted with a reference to section 299 of the Constitution, bearing in mind the provision of section 3, subsection 5 of the Constitution. Now, in conclusion, That is the 6.0. Our own final written address. For reason given above, we respectfully urge your lordships to discountenance Tinubu and Shetima's defense as devoid of any scintilla of merit, and hold that the petitioner's case is meritorious and grant them relief. Then they say that the lordships, they take them to what happened in Kenyan Supreme Court in the case of Laila Odinga and others versus the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. That is that Kenyan nullification of their Supreme Court. And I will say what in them talk. They say, when in nullifying the election that returned Uhuru Kenyatta as the winner of the Kenyan presidential election in 2017, ex cathedra, they say, what of the argument that this court should not subvert the will of the people? This court is one of those to whom that sovereign power has been delegated under Article 13C of the same Constitution. All these powers, including that of invalidating a presidential election, is not self-giving nor forcefully taken, but is donated by the people of Kenya. To dishonestly exercise that delegated power and to close our eyes to the constitutional violations will be a dereliction of duty, and we refuse to accept that invitation to do so. However popular the invitation may seem, therefore, however burdensome, let the majesty of the Constitution reverberate across the length and breadth of our motherland. Let it bubble from our rivers and ocean. Let it boomerang from our hills and mountains. Let it serenade our households from the streets. Let it sprout from our institutions of learning. Let it stroll from our sanctums of prayer, and to those who bear the responsibility of leadership, let it be a constant irritant. Now so our prayers be, dated July 20th, 2023. Now for there we end our prayer. And this very prayer where we dey talk, now our final written our prayer, we say make we look to wetin happen for Kenya. Make we see how they take talk and for there. That last vibration where they vibrate, let the judiciary take the power that belongs to them. That power that belongs to the people, because they are the last hope of Nigerians. Not just the common man. Over 200 Nigerians are looking up to the judiciary to do the right thing. With that one, I go talk say, make we again look at that very things where we carry enter court, where be different things like this very forfeiture. That's 460,000 forfeiture, like the from EC9 form where we say perjury they inside. We look at different other things where we say it they inside court, especially this one where again where David Hundeyin talk, and in the very specific about that form EC9 form perjury where happen, and all the things where we say in gather from that very school, Chicago University, where Tinubu talk saying go. All those things there for court. Make we hear from him again as in take talk am. All these things na constant reminder of say our eyes should be on what is on court. Let's take a listen from David Hundeyin.
The second story which I did, which was a separate story but also linked to that, was a story about perjury. Now, on his INEC EC9 affidavit, he made several claims. The date of birth he claimed on his INEC EC9 was a different date of birth to that which he has used in other places. So essentially what happened was the lawyer that he mentioned, Mike Genahureba, he actually took INEC to court earlier in the year, I think in August, when INEC refused to make Bola Tinubu's EC9 form public, and he won the case. INEC released the EC9 form to him. So then he he contacted a law firm in Chicago, Leahy, Eisenberg, and Franco, to essentially investigate some of these claims that were made by Bola Ahmed Tinubu about his history in the U.S. So subpoenas were sent to Chicago State University, Richard Daley College, Deloitte, where he claimed to have worked, and Anderson Tax, because he claimed to have worked at Arthur Anderson at some point too. And the results that came back from these institutions prove that the claims he made on his INEC EC9 and some of the documents submitted on his INEC EC9 were completely false. So, for example, the subpoena that went out to Chicago State University, the lawyer asked for all records regarding Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Chicago State University had, and they responded with the records he used to gain admission to Chicago State University, where he stated that he went to a secondary school called Government College Lagos and he graduated in 1970. Well, it just so happens that Government College Lagos started in 1974. So clearly he couldn't have graduated in 1970 because it didn't exist. The certificate, the degree certificate that was provided by the university, which was an exact reprint of the original certificate that was issued to a certain Bola A. Tinubu in 1979, was a completely different document to that which is submitted to INEC. Different fonts, different wording, different signatures, and different dates. And then what, in my opinion, the craziest thing of all was that 5-minute internet research revealed that this document that he submitted to INEC was sourced from an online forgery service called diplomamakers.com. So literally, if you go to the Pinterest repository of this website, diplomamakers.com, you will literally see a template for a Chicago State University fake degree certificate that is identical to what he submitted to INEC. The same grammatical errors on that certificate were what he submitted to INEC. So essentially, this guy or somebody working for him went to a fake service that produces fake certificates, diploma-makers.com, right? Got a fake certificate from there and submitted it to INEC. So the question is why? The answer to that may be answered by some of the other records that were obtained from Chicago State University. Now, one of the records that was obtained was a transcript from Richard Daley College, which was used to gain admission. And on that transcript, it was stated that the person known as Bola A. Tinubu that was given admission to Chicago State University, the sex of that person was female. So which essentially means that the person parading himself as Bola Ahmed Tinubu today and the person who got admission to Chicago State University as Bola A. Tinubu are in fact not the same person. That person also claimed to have a different nationality. That person claimed to be Black American. Tinubu on his INEC EC9 claimed that he has no nationality except Nigerian. So there's so many questions to answer here. There's the basic issue of perjury, which by the way is a criminal offense. You can go to jail for that. There's the issue of falsification of documents, forgery. There's the issue of identity theft. There's the issue of non-declaration of supplementary nationality. And then there's the issue of the false claims of having gone to Government College Lagos, which didn't exist when he came to graduate. And just to quickly close on this, the subpoena that went out to Deloitte, the response that came back simply said, we do not know this person. This person has never worked for us. We have no record. So if you recall, and let me just quickly close with this, his most recent media appearance, where he was asked, how did you make your money? All of a sudden, he made no reference to Deloitte this time around, which the story has been shopping around for decades. These are questions.
Worldwide, I beg, make our eyes dey on the judiciary, make we face the matter wey be say e dey for court, and make we dey always talk about am, because na for there the hope wey we dey talk na in dey. All this wahala wey be say e dey kasala for everywhere for inside Naija, all this, even the fuel issue and all of that, if we get our mandate back, na im be say all these things go just we go begin dey comot small small. We go just correct the issues as e dey for Nigeria, because if we leave the present APC make dem correct am, we know say dem no go correct am. So make we seriously look at where our own mind and our attention dey needed. Make we no get distraction, but we still know the talk say na good thing wey dem do for Emefiele, or so as in the embarrass court. So part of the thing where they embarrass court, so our people don't talk and well for space. Make we even see wetin our people they talk for space again about this very particular court disobeying the court order. Make we take from Emefiele's issue.
Okay, may we check our mouth for this one. He say Emefiele is still the CBN governor. He can only be removed by the 2/3 of the National Assembly and not the president. If the CBN governor can be brutally molested like that, and the sitting judge that granted him bail could be disrespected in such manner, how much more other judges and male lawyers? Judiciary must rescue itself or face ridicule from people that doesn't have any respect for rule of law.
Yes, so if they know, if that's why we they talk about judiciary every time. Now judiciary go then go rescue themselves. Not be us where they for this very side. We not feel rescue them. Now them go their order must be emphatic because I know say even them talk say if judge give order, even if na mad, even if na drunk the person be where give that order, they say you must obey that very order. Make we take this one from distinguished field marshal.
At General Oruchi, he said, it is worrying that DSS does not respect court rulings. They believe they are above the law and can do whatever they want, irrespective of what the judge says. So why go to court in the first place when they can just play the judge and the jury in their offices? Why did they take Emefiele to court?
Yes, they took Emefiele to court because the court demanded that they do so. Now when they don't carry and go court, make them obey wetin court talk again, become another one. Make we take this one from Michael Bernard.
Michael Bernard talk this one, say, it's 2 months in Tinubu's bureaucracy and we are yet to see any plan to unify the country. His supporters keep spilling bigotry and seeking to divide the country. Every day, Igbos are this, Igbos are that, propaganda and agenda daily. Well, it doesn't surprise us. A man who never believed in Nigeria, who is flanked by people who also don't believe in Nigeria, cannot build unity. All they know is xenophobia. We know those who believe in Nigeria, and this regime isn't one of them. The onus lies on the court to rescue this country from those who seek to destroy it.
Yes, so and then come put inside there one newspaper, old one, where we say Tinubu talk say he no believe in one Nigeria. Now so then come put them there. So my people, person when we say he no believe in one Nigeria, no be to scatter Nigeria in go one do. We don't they see them, it don't they happen one by one. But again, now the judiciary now we they talk which way for the judiciary. If everybody they disobey on our order, now only agbero and mechanic and all those small people now on a order fit hold. Why on a order no fit happen with INEC? Why on a order no fit happen with electoral officers or electoral offenders? Why be say executive no fit obey on a order? You get a CB. Una go rescue una self true. Make we see how one person take talk and for that court in the present where that thing they happen and then talk say as in the pen am as court no get strength again, they no get power again. Make we hear from them.
This Okere Kingdom, this morning we appeared in this matter as lawyers in defense of democracy, watching the brief on behalf of international civil society organizations. I just want to go straight to say that Tinubu administration has started on a very wrong note. He has started with impunity. He has started with lawlessness. His government is still facing legitimacy at the tribunal, and he has chosen to start with lawlessness. He has chosen to start with impunity. Vis-a-vis suffering Nigerians by the subsidy issue that we are all suffering, he has now rather chose to cripple the entire judicial system, the entire judicial machinery. Then the DSS should have established a court in their office. They should have a DSS court. Try him there. They shouldn't have brought him to court. Where a court of competent jurisdiction, Federal High Court, made an order granting him to bail. After you have detained him for more than 40 days, the court granted him bail. Court made an order that should, in case he didn't perfect his bail today, that he should be remanded in Nigerian Correctional Service custody. And that order has been displayed to the media. So and the DSS is here, behaving as if we are in a zoo, as if this is a zoological republic. Tinubu is failing. As a lawyer, he is failing. As a lawyer, he must remove the DG of DSS.
As a lawyer, I want you to help us understand this. They showed us a warrant claiming it's from a court. I don't know if I still have a copy of the warrant from the court to get him arrested. How do you
position of the law is that he has been arraigned And there is a court of competent jurisdiction that is a high court, federal high court, that made an order granting him to bail, and have ordered that should be, in case he didn't perfect his bail, he should be taken to the facility of the Nigerian Correctional Service. That remains the order. You can only appeal that order. Or if you have another warrant, if you have another offense you are investigating him, or purported offense you are investigating him, or you have another purported warrant, you should go and serve it to the Nigerian Correctional Service to produce him to court, not to take him to your custody. DSS is not the law. They are established by a piece of legislation. This is a country that runs on law, on rule of law. The Constitution is our grand norm. That is what we are saying. The Constitution has stipulated that there are 3 arms of government: executive, legislature, and judiciary. That is why we are crying out. Rule of law must be entrenched. That is the issue. It's not about Yusuf Magaji. He cannot give an order from his office to counter the court. He doesn't have that power. He doesn't. No matter the rifle his name parade, Magaji Yusuf, the DG of DSS, does not have the power to counter court order. He doesn't have the power. That's what we are saying. He is not established by himself. He's established by a piece of legislation. A piece of legislation that is no more than the Constitution. That is what we are crying out for. Tinubu, sack this man. This man will give your government a bad image. This man will give your government a bad reputation. He has started with lawlessness, impunity. Look at the way they handled the officer of the Nigerian Correctional Service. Is that what we should expect in this country? We will continue to talk. Tinubu, you have started on a wrong note. The man you have left as DSS Director General is bringing disorderliness in the judicial system. He's desecrating the institution.
Thank you.
Remove him. He's incompetent.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can see that
see verse, Sabi. Ona see para, ona see verse. The people, Agbedo people, they never begin to see something myself. This one, a small one. Waiting Emefiele do. Make una even go check am. Waiting he do. He no bring money where them go take rig election. Now he being seen. Make una check am well. Then talk, because them talk say them find one small gun for him place. Now which big man no get gun for Nigeria? As I read document when they bring assault rifle, the one will be saying a military style rifle. Waiting they not carry a go court. IBTC no know where in house they. But this man, waiting they charge him. They never bring the money issue. Now rifle then still they talk up till now. And DSS won't carry him. Anyway, I no want join issues. Now I think we're beside the talk here. The only issue when I want join for the team be say the judiciary they ridicule themselves. You see how magistrate court go give order according to what they talk here. Magistrate court warrant now then carry come meet person wey be say e dey for federal high court. E get Nigeria na just na crime scene. I dey tell you how you go take in hierarchy of judicial categories. How you want compare magistrate and federal high court? I no know. 9 DSS carry that one come in front of court, molestia clothes of these people. Anyway, make we know talk because e get other people they talk seriously about this court. And why would they talk about court? Because our matter dey for court. Now make we dey bring am say wetin dey happen. They no get their independence again. Make them let us know. Make we know say they no get independence again. But as we talk, PO talk saying get hope for where they dey. So we go there they look, we go dey encourage them. Make we see how another person take talk about these same courts again. Say make courts, make them recuse themselves. Make them take their power back. Make we hear as them talk again.
Nigerians specifically, this is unfair. Now, we are talking, in fact, even in the dark days of General Abacha, you couldn't contemplate this happening in the court. This is really terrible. Now, we are talking about the desecration of the Nigerian, judicial system. This is a direct confrontation to the very foundations upon which this country operates. Let me tell you, the idea of separation of powers, why there should be an executive that has powers to implement laws, and then a judiciary that interprets what the laws are, and the sacrosanctity that whatever proceeds out of the mouth of a judge must be obeyed. What you see now is a direct destruction of that foundation. It's an invitation to anarchy. And who are we talking about? We're talking about a president that has lived for, that has operated for such a short time. And this is not about being silent. It's about, a plot to actually, bring down this country. And you see, it's not about Emefiele anymore. It is clear now that Emefiele is a political, detainee. He's been punished. He's been harassed by persons who clearly don't have anything against him, but simply want to punish him for whatever political views that he held in the past. But see, Emefiele is actually it's a reflection of the average Nigerian, whether or not he is a big man or a poor man, that is being really terrified at this time. Let me tell you, the president must, as a matter of urgency, there is no basis to fear anybody here, because we've gone through all this before. Where we've gone through military times, we have been through all forms of persecution in this country to midwife a democracy, and then we are now seeing a civilian form of oppression and dictatorship. So this cannot be accepted. Let me tell you, the import of this is this, that it means that order from which above, there is only one sovereignty in this country, the Nigerian state. It is not about who, it's not about an individual. Please, right. We have only one country, and it's very important. And again, if anybody thinks that it is time to gloat over Emefiele, he's mistaken, because it is every Nigerian that is on trial at this time. And unfortunately, this has become a persecution and no longer a prosecution. And it's
they hear vibration everywhere. Vibration. Nigeria now going into dictatorship. We don't hear them. Anyway, we talk say our PO they come. And God don't promise us say we are going into a new Nigeria. And that very new Nigeria, all these kind things no go to happen. Everybody go be obedient to the law and order. We don't already be obedient already. We are no. Anyway, we thank God say PO don't give us hope. And that hope now we preach every day. God go help us say PO go come back, take him mandate, and then they correct all this wrong what we say they happen now. These people we talk say their turn don't happen, their turn don't pass. With that one, we will begin make we carry our kayak come out for studio. But before we come out, we say, make una know say our eyes there for judiciary. Make una know say this Emefiele and DSS issue, make they no carry am cover the things we be say we they do for court. Make they know, make you know be saying a twist they won't do us. Make we begin the first other place. Make we for the share and like the video. Make you reach other people. Make them know say even as the confusion, then they cause confusion everywhere. Make we know say our eyes still there for judiciary. And the things we be say with the inside court now we go talk. So make you like and share. And the thing where you feel do for P2B at this very time. We will come again later this today to bring you update on how the courts they take handle the matter and the positions where different proceeds where we say they inside court, the place where we say then they as at now. With that one, I go carry my give Angel.
My fabulous obedience. You see what in APC they turn Nigeria into. They are sliding into dictatorship, making us look as if nobody dey Niger. Because they know winner by force, by intimidating the judges. It's now time for the judiciary to rescue themselves. Nobody go do am for now. We have three arms of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. Judiciary, wake up. Wake up, write your name in gold. Yes, take over. Nobody should dictate to you. You have the opinion of yourself. What you say happens. Let the executive no put on for armpit. I beg. Take over and do the right thing. And what is that right thing? Justice and fairness. Justice and fairness. We know they ask for too much. My darling and fabulous well-meaning Nigerians, you watch us finish. You know like, you know subscribe, you know share. Wait till you gain. Oh yeah, begin the like, share, make others hear, make other obedience see wetin dey happen, that intimidation, dictatorship, and they don dey distract us, make we no focus. But we no go agree. Now focus now we dey. Thank you so much for being with us. We love you, but God loves you more. Bye for now.